Hey, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you comment down below. Let me know if you're a fan of Young Dolph. Let me know if you're a fan of Big Scar. Let me know where y'all from and who you rocking with. Let's get right into it, man. So Yo Gotti and them are laying low after they heard about Big Scar because, they don't want Gucci Mane to pull up on them asking any questions. They're always saying something about how, people in Memphis always talking about how CMG was trying to get everybody on their side. They were even trying to take people from Dolph's side. They was trying to take people from Gucci Mane's side, just like how, Big 30 and the Gucci Mane issue with CMG and like that whole thing is still something in the background. So y'all got to understand when this happened in Memphis and then Gucci's not around and stuff like that, you get to thinking like, man, CMG always was talking about how people said that they wanted to actually have Big Scar, like Yo Gotti wanted Big Scar on his team. Moneybagg Yo was trying to get him too. They were really trying to get Pooh Shiesty to, have him like say to come to this side. But he said, no, Pooh Shiesty is signed to Gucci. So that's why Big Scar wanted to go with Gucci Mane too, because that's his cousin. Like Pooh Shiesty and Scarr are actually cousins. And so it's not just because they like mess with each other or they were friends or they hung out with each other in Memphis, because you got to remember, as all these Memphis artists and all these like celebrities or whatever is coming up, they actually, when there's so many famous people or artists or whatever in one city, they literally all went to school with each other. They grew up with each other. And so the fact of the matter is that, they all know each other, the ins and outs. And so at one point they were all cool, but then it's like after a while they weren't cool. And that's why you got some people going, that's basically why there's a PRE, why there's a CMG, why there's a bread gang, and everybody kind of have their own stuff. And it's like a reason why Finesse 2 times, it didn't work out between him and Moneybagg Yo. Like they tried to work things out and he came back, but he knew eventually anything that involved like CMG or whatever in some way, like Yo Gotti and everything, it was going to be a lot of stuff to think about. It was going to be way too much going on. And so that's why he out doing his own thing now. And so you see why Big Scar wanted to go with Gucci and stay loyal to Pooh Shiesty, because they literally rode around together. Like they got their first cars together. They got everything. They got their first shows. Like they went to each other's concerts. They supported each other and everything like that. So this is going to hit home for Pooh Shiesty. And then it's going to make Yo Gotti and Moneybagg Yo just kind of lay low, because it's like, man, they don't really got nothing, because of the fact that they had the issues in the past with the whole trying to take the artists and this and that. They just kind of don't even want to speak on anything too much. So they just got to let the time pass by, not try to showboat anything. And, just let Big Scar's family handle everything like that. And then, when Pooh Shiesty hears about this, man, he's going to be distraught. Like he already heard, because first of all, Big 30 had to call him, because that's his best friend. So when Big 30 called Pooh Shiesty, he explained it to him. And, his whole cell block was basically already informing him. They were like, telling Pooh Shiesty that, they're like putting his hand on his shoulder and they're like, man, we got your back over here, man. Don't worry. You lose some, you win some, you lose some. But at the end of the day, you got to live to see another day. And so the fact is that, you got to enjoy it, and you never know, right? But it's a lot of people who just go down the wrong path and all that. So that's why Pooh Shiesty when he was out, he was trying to make sure Big Scar went on the right path, that he went with 1017, and, that he was trying to get everything right, his money right, make sure all the moves were made, make sure all the business was right and, on point and everything like that. And you got to remember too, like this is a small town. So once everybody heard about this, like they were basically like circling around, just like all the people ran out of that parking lot. It was some people parked in their cars. Like it actually was people around. Big Scar wasn't by himself. It was actual people around. And then the thing is that he had 3 chains on. The 3 chains he had on, 2 of them were the letter pendants where it says 1017, like 1017, and it's gold with the diamonds on it. But then y'all forgetting he has the big circle pendant with it's a circle with the stamp in it, and it's got the baguettes in there with the emerald cuts. and you could see how the diamonds dance in some of the lives. And so what you got to understand is that he had 3 chains on that were from 1017. And so the one thing that Gucci Man wanted to make sure was that he still has all 3 of his chains, and that goes, and they can give that to his brother or his dad or whoever, right? Because they want to make sure that everything Big Scar had with him in that parking lot gets returned to the whole family. Nothing ends up missing. That's the one thing they want to make sure for sure, because it's like otherwise it would be a big diss if something ended up missing. And so they got to make sure everything's accounted for. And it's like, really, no one knows how much money he had on him. And so if he had like, 100K on him or something, which you see, there's rappers who literally walk around with 100K, and or how, like, how Lil Baby says he got 4 pockets full. Like, they could have literally had 25K in each pocket and walking around with 100K on you. And so the thing is that we don't know if how much exactly he had on him. And so he had like some type of bread on him. And so it's like he had the money on him, he had all the jewelry, the chains, the watch, and everything was bust down, everything was AP baguettes. And so at the end of the day, it's like when they tally up everything that's in the inventory, they got to make sure he still has those 3 chains with the diamonds in it. They shouldn't even be a single stone missing, because Icebox cleans all the jewelry, and they know, and the watch from Jewelry Unlimited, they will know exactly if it's something missing or if they swapped it out or anything like that, right? And they know the receipts, like it's receipts that he has 3 chains and the AP watch with the bust down. So that's that. And it's got to make sure it don't come up missing, because there's way too many people that was around. There could have been some, how people get, man. It's like, especially if like you was, laid out or whatever, right? And you knocked out, and things happen where people try to 5-finger discount. They got the sticky fingers. So they want to make sure none of that happened, because they have to make sure everybody's in line. They got to go back and look at the replays and figure out exactly like what time and who was around and like what he had. They have to go back and look to see and count how that he had the 3 chains. And he even flexed the money at one point, so they could rewind it and figure out at that point when he flexed the money and kind of see visually, does that look like the amount that when they counted everything in the inventory, does that look like the same amount, or does it look shorter or something like that? So that's basically how they're going to figure out, just in case anybody tried to finesse, just in case anything happened like that. But you had to let it be known that he does have 3 chains, and 2 of them are the 1017 pendants, like the writing, and then the other one is the circle gold one, just like Nip has. Just like Nip has that circle, the all money in one, bro. He got the same one, but it's 1017, because that's a Gucci man Brick Squad one. So like Gucci knows exactly what he gave him when he put him on to 1017. And at the end of the day, like, he even got some of Pooh Shiesty's stuff too. So he got to make sure that it's a lot. Actually, it almost was a lick, because of the fact that when somebody falls out like that and they got all that jewelry on them and all that money on them, and they got the luxury whip right there, I'm pretty sure he was in some type of whip, you know what I mean? So when they have all that like that, people get to thinking, people, the real ways that they think start to come out. And, if people are down bad hurting, you never know if somebody's going to try to pull a move or whatever like that. And so that's why they're closely watching the situation. They're closely making sure that everything gets back to the family. Condolences to Big Scar, you know what I mean? Shout out to Memphis. Shout out to everybody. Make sure y'all subscribe to this channel. Make sure you like this video. Comment down below. Let me know where y'all from. If you rocking with Young Dolph, Big Scar. And I'm going to catch you on the next one.